Welcome back to Gary's Coin Channel. Today we're going to be doing another hunt of $2 rolls of nickels. These have 40 nickels in each roll, and they're from the bank. They're customer pack, whatever, rolled up. We're going to go ahead and check them out. Every now and then you find some nice stuff. You're going to be mostly looking for cuds and double die or what have you. Errors. Alright. So without any more delays, let's switch over to the microscope view. And make sure we're centered. Now get on the big view. Right there. Alright, we're looking good. Let's see what we get. First one up. Let's just check on that focus. There we go. 1964, Denver. A little more focus here. There we go. And no issues. Another 64. And this one's Philly. No issues. 2021. Little ratty. No issues. Oop, come on back. 2021. No issues. '23. Philly. Nothing there. Let's keep going. 94 Denver. Nothing there. 23 Philly. Nothing going on. 79. Nothing there. 74. Nothing there. 21. And nothing there. I'm going to pause so I can roll these up. Okay, all packed up. And on to the hunt. 86 Philly. Nothing there. 21. Nothing there. 2020. Nothing there. 94 Philly. Nothing there. I got a dark one here. A cladding issue. Let's check. 21. Pewter toning. Maybe just you know, staining. Could be, you could see copper on the side. Could be just a weak cladding. Send that one back. 2020. Nothing there. Fix them up a little bit. 01 Philly. Nothing there. 18. Nothing there. Another 18. Nothing going on. 04 Philly. At the Louisiana Purchase. Nothing there. 22 Philly. Nothing there. 23 Philly. A little bit of grease speckling, I call it that. Actually a really good condition. A little nick on his nose. A little nick on the back. I'll send it back to the bank. 2011. Nothing there. 22. And more of a cladding issue on this one. Nothing to write home about. 23 Philly. Nothing there. 2018. Nothing there. Come on, Jefferson. You have a little edge machine doubling in Liberty. Nothing out of control. Just very slightly by the E. Yep, that's this little jump. Nothing really there. So you want to look for is that doubling on the obverse. Nothing there. Sometimes it gets pretty extreme. Good looking 64. Denver. That worn out. Monticello. Nothing there. 21 Denver. Nothing there. 15 Philly. 15 Philly. Nothing there. 97 Philly. Little rattiness on the bottom. Nothing really there. 18 Philly. Nothing there. 23, Philly. Nothing going on. Come on, Jefferson. 24, Philly. Where's Denver? Nothing here. Nothing there. 21, Philly. Nothing there. 2020, Philly. A little edging on the collar. That's somewhat common. No issues really, other than a little edging. But nothing there. 96, Philly. Nothing there. 22, Philly. Nothing there. 72. It's ratty. 21. Nothing there. 22. Philly. Nothing there. 94. Denver. Nothing there. 22, Philly. Nothing there. 70, Denver. No issues. Typically warm. 88, Denver. Looks like it could be cladding issue. Ratty shape. Could be dirt too. Nothing there. 64. This could have been crushed in some way, but it ballooned lettering. Let's see. That's a spin damage. It's probably under pressure causing that. I don't know. Let it go. There's a spin damage. 16, Philly. Nothing there. I think I have to pause to roll our coins. We're pausing. Okay, we're back. 95, Philly. Nothing there. 62. Denver. Nothing there. 22. Philly. Nothing there. 2020. Philly. Nothing going on. 22, Philly. Nothing there. 98, Philly. Nothing there. 86 Philly. Grease issue, nothing there. 22 Philly. And nothing there. 74 Denver. Nothing there. 23 Philly. Excuse me, nothing there. 21 Philly. Nothing there. 16 Philly. Nothing there. That was very uneventful. 21 Philly. There. 17 Philly. There. 59. Denver. A couple of stairs on there. Nothing there. 64. Denver. Nothing there. 99 Philly. Nothing there. Let's look at that. Blue Rivers again. Nothing there. 85 Philly. Nothing there. 1980 Denver. With odd toning. Nothing there. 89 Denver. Nothing there. 85 Denver. A little hard edging. Nothing there. 84 Philly. Another one. Like a bottle cap edging. Nothing there. 18 Philly. Nothing there. 08 Denver. Nothing there. 22 Philly. Nothing there. 17 Philly. Nothing there. 21 Philly. Nothing there. 22 Philly. Nothing there. It was a rough one, huh? 22 Philly. Jefferson was playing rough. Nothing there. 23 Philly. Nothing there. 91 Philly. There. 99 Philly. Nothing there. 84 Philly. Yeah. Little machine doubling, probably from that grease. Nothing really here. Alright, well, we had that 159 that had, I think I saw 2 steps. I'm just going to keep going because I got 2 more rolls and I'm just going to pull everything together and be done with it. And just do one at a time. Keep going. 18 Philly. Nothing there. Hey, why not? 2020. And then 99 Philly. Nothing there. 21 Philly. Nothing there. Only because I got skunked. 21 Denver. Nothing there. 62 Denver. Nothing there. 77. Nothing there. Jeez, I'll tell you. 22 Philly. Nothing there. I gotta roll up these. Okay, we're back. And my roller gets filled. I have to head over and put them back in the sleeve. There. 88 Philly. A little machine doubling. Probably from that grease. Nothing really severe. Yeah, grease on the reverse. So no cracks and really major jumping. So nothing there. That one too. 22 Denver. Nothing there. 16 Philly. Nothing there. 15 Philly. Nothing there. 16 Philly. Nothing there. 02 Philly. Nothing there. 88 Philly. Let me see what that was. No, nothing. It was like a dark clash a little, but I don't think it is. Let's see, roll it over, see what that, yeah, that's his is whatever, ponytail ribbon thing coming through the back. See it. Well, this one you can actually see where the cracking is, or relief. That's part of that ribbon. Maybe that could be the front of the bust. Um, it's almost like a die clash. I'm not gonna push it. You can see it's part of this area. Came through. And you know, it's not distinctive enough. I've seen it before, but if you look, you know, where that, it's right there. You see that raised area. I mean, technically it's a die clash, but it's not severe enough. I don't see a full outline or any really bad cracks. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, you can see this raised area right in here. I'm shaking. Right in here. Maybe going up to the building here. But, and yeah, you could tell that the hard strike on this side with the grease actually helped push the planchet in, causing that, like a die clash between the dies, but this is more like a, you know, a hard strike. A proper term for that is. You know, I'm just gonna put it aside. Just because it's the only coin I found. 06. Good. 04. Philly. Oh, looking at the back. 23. Philly. Nothing there. 07. Philly. Nothing there. Oh, is that a crack? Moving a little too fast. No. Nothing there. 17 Philly. No. Oy, oy, oy. 21 Philly. These Jefferson nickels can be brutal. Well, they could sometimes be a nice surprise here and there. Not happening today. $19, $94. Looks like 10W30. $91 Philly. A little off center. That could be a crack. Let's look at that a little bit better. No. That's part of the bust on the bottom. It could be a crack. It's just so minor. A heavy grease on the back. On the reverse. You just have to look at these when you see trauma. Oh, get rid of you. I'm not there. 7. Yeah, there's definitely something going on. 22. You know, you know, picking out really minute things, and it's, I don't know what your opinion is on that. You could be definitive in saying that you have an error or oddity, but you know, I think you start, you know, you start making up stuff. I mean, every coin has a little something going on, but it has to be a very distinctive feature. Hope that made sense. Like here, Liberty's got a little double, machine doubling under the B. Um, is that enough to call this one worthy of selling? No. No. That's what I'm talking about. Back to the bank. Now when you see ones at full Liberty doubled up, you know, rotated die or something, I'm not even gonna try to entertain that. 16 Philly. Best thing you can find with Jefferson nickels, in my opinion, are cuts. Yeah, I found a beautiful one. You know, a while ago, the whole area here was just filled. It was, it must have had a die crack right here, and the collar, everything just filled up right inside here. A really nice cut, beautiful, and it's sold. I got a good price on it. They're few and far between. Always happen. Always look behind the head, especially on this vintage with this front view. Uh, 97. You got a little machine doubling on the U and trust. Not enough to be an issue. And things like that. I walk. I'm walking. I'm on a coin you can see without a microscope. It's kind of issue. You know, you don't need to zoom in. Alright, that's that roll. I got one more and I'll call it. Sorry to go long here, guys, but I had this is the end of my nickels. Honestly, I get bored too easy. I'd rather have mint, you know, uncirculated nickels to go over and possibly find something that's good. These bank rolls, unless you get a roll of buffaloes or something, you know, mixed in. But for the most part, I mean, you're just kind of on a cud hunt or cud and cracks, or you know, it basically comes down to that. 19 Denver. Or, you know, doubling. You could get it. More so cuds. Or, you know, heavy cladding issues and stuff like that. For the most part, Jefferson nickels from the bank are really boring. They could be good too, but it's my least favorite coin hunter. Well, actually, I'd say dimes are, because dimes are, you know, unless you get silver, it is what it is. It's hunting. You gotta do it, and you never know. One coin could make it all worth the while. This is 64. If you had any stairs on this, it would be something to keep aside, but You got a little die clash going on this one too. Um, above, below the E pluribus, looks like part of that collar is pushing through. Um, the pressure of it, but there's nothing there. I'll let it go. That's what that shadowing is. 88 Philly. There's a lot of grease issues with these Jeffersons too. So you got a little machine doubling on the O and God. Nothing. On the zero, no. That's you're picking at straws at that point. Not even gonna bother. No. 83 Philly. It's the worn 83 Philly. 2015 Philly. Not even one beehive cut. Okay, little pause to roll them up. Let's get onto it. 2018 Philly. Nothing going on. 2000 Philly. Nothing there. 05. Let's see what we got on the back. Buffalo. Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. No broken leg. Horn is where it should be. No doubling on the horn. I'd heard of that, and that's one of those things. Maybe, but we'll see. 94 Denver. $2020. Nothing. 85 Denver. Ratty. Could be there's a bop on that rim, the collar. Almost looks like a cud, but yeah. 74. It's spin damage. Interesting. Right in the middle. Oh. 64. Denver. 2011. Spin damage. 63. Denver. With a weak striated cladding. Looks like a woody. No. Let that go. Not much there to look at. 22 Philly. Excuse me. Nope. 99 Philly. '83 Philly. We got a little die clash going on here. Warpage. 83. Name on the back. I mean, nothing severe. It's just a hard strike. Bent the planchet. That's a hard. It's so hard. You see a lot of stairs on this one. Really hard, clean strike. See, it's not a bad looking coin. It's just yeah, you have issues. A few nicks in the field. I don't see any doubling. No distinguishable clash detail. But this is definitely a hard strike. Damage above the cents and above the building. I'll let this one go. It's not worth it. Not worth it. 23. So I see an early beehive cud popping through. Let that go. 22. Nope. 21. Nope. 20. Nope. 2,000. Philly. Doubling on the building on the left, the machine doubling. That could be an early sign of that beehive cud, cracked die coming through. And then you got some machine doubling on the top. The P in pluribus. Nothing major going on this 2000 Philly. There you go. 91 Philly. Oh. 95 Philly. No. Looks like a Lewis and Clark. 04 Philly. With road tar. Get out of here. 18 Philly. Nothing there. 2020. Nothing there. 14. Philly. Nothing there. 94 Philly. No ratty. 20. 83 Philly. Nothing there. 23 Philly. Nothing there. And the last one, 80 Denver. A lot of damage and age wear, circulation issues. It's a hot mess. It's probably a grease strike, you know, moderate grease strike when it was first made, minted, stamped, whatever. But it's Boy, it sure got beat up. Alright, and that's it. With these rolls, the only thing I have any bit of value to is this 88 Philly, which has a die clash, minor, but it's more or less a pressure clash from the grease. You can see the grease that was struck on the back, got trapped. It put excessive pressure on the planchet, causing that strike through. So you see it's a strike through grease, and yeah, you get those kind of things. But honestly, this coin holds no true value. Maybe 10 cents. So we're gonna let it go. And thanks for watching. And, if you guys don't have it, I'll put a link. Oh, there you go. It all went up. Look, you caught that. If you don't have one of these tube rollers, get one. It fills up to the line here, and all you do is you take the tube, you stick it in the top, and it's done. Really easy to work with. They come in all sets: pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and really cheap on Amazon. I just dumped a bunch of nickels on the floor. I'll go pick them up. Thanks for watching. I'll put a link below for these tubey things if you're interested. I'll do that. And on that, have a good day and happy hunting. Those Jeffersons, they could be rough, boy, I'll tell you. But if you do end up with some nice cards, or die breaks, or cracked planchets, or actually rotated doubles, they're worth going through. I would say that. But I think if they're machine rolled from a rolling company, you're better off, because you head over to the bank, you pick up these rolls, there's a good chance they've already been sifted through really hard. So I'm kind of suspecting that's what's going on here. So they pull them out to find the old wartime nickels that may be in circulation, that the 43s, PDSs with the silver content. They do that, and then they look for the major errors like we do. So whenever you go to the bank and you pick up these these type of rolls from the bank, it's hit and miss. Hit and miss. I can't say all are like that, but you're always better off getting, if you go to the bank, make sure that you get the ones that, get the box, get the whole box of them. How many are in there? 40, I think it's like $100. Get the box. I've had a lot more success with that. And then if you do get the hand rolled ones like this, or the other type of wrappers, you stand a chance of not finding anything. Somebody already hit them, like me. I'm going to return these to the bank, and the next guy, he'll go through them. Whatever. You're better off getting, ask for a box of, the full box. You're much better off. Alright, on that, thanks for watching. If you would hit the like and subscribe, you want to see more of my stuff. And again, I'll have those tubes below the video in the description. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you sticking with me. This is a very painful Jefferson nickel hunt. Take care.